In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up, host, join, and schedule remote meetings with Zoom. I'm Louise Elizabeth and welcome to Every Bit Helps. I really hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you do, then please give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and share if you feel that others may benefit. Also, please do head over to my website at www.everybithelps.co.uk for more tips, reviews, and step-by-step guides. If you're unable to attend a physical meeting, then Zoom is a great way to hold online meetings, training courses, classrooms, video webinars, and chats. With Zoom, you can literally join from anywhere and on any device. So let's jump into how you can start using their video conferencing services for free. I'll also pop a timeline in the summary below so that you can jump to the parts that you need. So if you just need to find out how to join a meeting, for example, you can check that out below. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is sign up with Zoom, and it's pretty easy to do so. And as I said, for the basic type of service, it is absolutely free as well. So what I'm going to do is click on to sign up, it's free. You'll then be prompted to put in your email address, or you can go to sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook. I'm going to go to sign in with Google, and then I'm going to create an account. So now that our account is created, what we're going to do is head over to our profile. And from our profile, we can go ahead and we can change our picture, which has automatically come from my Gmail account. But what we might also want to do is find out exactly what's involved with our free subscription. What do we get? So what we're going to do is have a look where it says basic here and go to upgrade. So now we've clicked on to upgrade, it tells us what we have in our current plan. So it states that we're currently on a basic plan, which is free. The basic plan never expires. I can host an unlimited number of meetings, one meeting at a time. I've got no time limit for one-to-one meetings. However, I am capped at a 40-minute time limit on meetings with 3 to 100 people. And if I do want to upgrade and have more than 40 minutes, I do need to upgrade my account. And obviously there's different types of plans and pricings that you can view up the top here. However, let's take a look at hosting a meeting. So what I'm going to do is click on to host a meeting on the top right-hand corner beside my profile picture. Then it gives me some options. Do I want to host a meeting with the video on, video off, or do I want to screen share only? Now I'm going to do so with the video on to begin with. And if this is the first time, you may need to download and run Zoom on your machine. And I'm working on a Mac today, so what it's done is it's installed the app. What I can now do is sign in to Zoom. Now, one thing to be aware of is there are a few different themes that you can use within Zoom. What I'm going to do is just quickly show you how to do that. So you can see that you have a cog or a settings icon in the top right hand corner here, just below your profile picture. If you click onto that, and at the bottom here, you can see you have different types of theme. You have light, dark, or use your system settings. I'm just going to change mine to light for the moment, and then come out of this screen. So now that I've got the app installed on my machine, I can now go ahead and create my first meeting. So I'm going to click onto new meeting and I'm going to click on the drop down beside that. And again, what it's asking me to do is, do I want to automatically start this with a video or not? I've got that ticked at the moment. So what I'm going to do is click onto the orange button for new meeting. Now what it's doing is ask me whether I want to join with computer audio. So to hear others, I need to click onto the join audio button, or I can go through and I can test my speaker and microphone. What I'm going to do is click on to join computer audio. Now I've just clicked onto mute at the moment, and the reason why I've done that is purely for the fact that otherwise I'm going to get a little bit of feedback in terms of my own microphone that I'm using at the moment. What I'll also do for the moment is just stop my video, and that can be stopped or restarted during the course of your video conference. Now the next thing you're obviously going to want to do is invite other people to join your meeting. So the next option along the bottom here is invite. So I'm going to click onto invite. Now, if you already have any type of contacts in here, they will appear within this list. Or you have the option to either email, and from here you can choose your different type of email service to send your invitation. So you can send that via your default email, via Gmail or Yahoo Mail. I'm going to click onto Gmail for the moment just so you get an idea of what that looks like. And as you can see here, it provides them with the subject saying, please join Zoom meeting in progress. It then gives them the meeting URL, which is the long string of numbers and letters along here. It gives them the meeting ID, and it also gives them the meeting password. Now you can enforce a password on your meetings, and the reason why you might want to do that is, say for example, your meeting has kind of more sensitive content within it. You may want to restrict it so that only people can enter your meeting. If they have the URL, they have to have the password as well. I'm just going to come out of it and go back into Zoom. I then have the option to copy the URL. Then I can simply paste that into a text or another kind of email and send that across to my participants that I want to join the meeting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch across to my mobile so that you can see someone who receives that URL link and someone that actually tries to join the meeting. So I'm now over on my mobile and I'm now a participant. And as a participant, I'm being asked whether or not I want to join that meeting. So I'm going to click onto the URL. And what it's now asking me to do is join the meeting. So I can click onto join meeting, or because I'm a first time user, it's asking me to download the app. So what I'll do is just go ahead and download the app, but it's saying that I need to enter the ID after I install it. So I'm going to click onto that. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to download from the App Store. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join that meeting. It's going to ask me for the meeting ID, which I'm just going to simply paste in. It then gives me several different options. It's asking me whether or not I want to connect my audio and turn my video off. So I'm actually going to turn my video off for the moment and I'm going to join into this meeting. It's now asking me for the password. Now the password was actually over on the other account, so I'm just going to type that in. I then have to provide access to my camera if I am joining using a video. It then says to me that to hear others, I need to join the audio. So I'm going to click on to call using internet audio. And I've immediately put myself on mute, just so that there's no interference between the two different machines. So from here, I have pretty much exactly the same options. I have the fact I can mute or unmute. I can start my video or I can stop my video. I can also share content from my phone, so I can share my screen, photos, iCloud Drive, Box, Dropbox, etc., etc. I then can have a look at the participants, so I can see who is currently talking. I can see whether or not they're muted or whether or not they have their video on. And I also have this chat section at the bottom here, so I can chat within this video. So under more, I can do a couple of different types of emoticons. I have the ability to chat. I have some meeting settings. I do have a virtual background I can use. I can raise my hand. So say, for example, there's a meeting going on and I'd like to actually input something into this meeting. I can raise my hand and I can also disconnect my audio. So that's it from my mobile phone perspective. Now just going back to my meeting on my actual Mac, what I'm now going to do is take a look at the participants and go to Manage Participants. So from here, I can view the participants that are within my meeting. Now, say for example, there's a little bit of background noise going on in terms of my different participants. I can obviously mute them all so that I can speak without having any kind of disruption happening. And then I have more. So on more, you may want to mute your participants on entry, especially if people are coming into a meeting and again, there is a lot of noise, you can mute them all. You can allow participants to unmute themselves. You can play enter and exit chimes. You can allow participants to rename themselves and you can lock the meeting. Now what a locked meeting would mean is the fact that no one else can enter once you've locked that meeting down. Now let's take a look at the next option, and that is my share screen button. From here, I can share my desktop, I can share a whiteboard, I can share anything. If, for example, my phone was connected via AirPlay, I can show something that's on my phone, either via AirPlay or via cable here. I can also share my open windows. So at the moment, I have Notes open on my Mac, and I also have Gmail open, composing a mail. So I could either share either one of those with the participants of my meeting. I then have a couple of different other options. So at the moment I'm on basic. If I go across to advanced, I can share just a portion of my screen. I can share music or computer sound only, or contents from a second camera. Going across to files. In here I can share the contents of a Dropbox, Google Drive, Box or OneDrive. And at the very bottom here you can see I can share my computer sound, and I can also optimize screen sharing for video clips. And as I showed you earlier, there is a chat program in here as well, so that people can chat throughout the video conference. You can record your conference. Now say for example, you're putting this out to a few different employees, and then what you want to do is a couple of other people may not have been able to attend. So what you could do is you could record this and then you can share this with the people that were unable to attend this meeting. You can also go into something called reactions. And in here, you could obviously put a thumbs up in here, or you can put in a little applause. And what I'm going to do now is end my meeting. So that's in the bottom right hand corner here. And it states then, if I want to keep this meeting open, please assign another host before you leave the meeting. What I'm going to do is end the meeting for all. So once you've done your first meeting, you'll then get a notification saying congratulations on hosting your first Zoom meeting. For faster and easier way of scheduling a meeting, you can download our integration below. And as you can see, they have a Zoom extension for browsers. Okay, and so far what we've done is we've created that new meeting. And we've also seen how you can join. So we did that over on our mobile phone, but what you can also do is you can join a meeting from within an app as well, just by simply putting in the meeting ID or a personal link name, and you may then again be asked to enter in that password as well if it is a secure meeting. What you also have is this schedule button here, so that allows you to schedule a meeting ahead of time. What I'm going to do is just show you through that now. So in here you can obviously state your topic in here, so what you want the meeting to be about. You can then put in the date and the time. Now one thing to be aware of is that if you are on this free or basic option in terms of their subscriptions, you cannot put anything in that's going to be longer than 40 minutes because you are capped. It can be a recurring meeting. You can state your time zone. You can state whether or not you want to have an automatically generated meeting ID or whether or not you want to use your own personal meeting ID. You can state whether or not you want there to be a meeting password, as I said before, for more sensitive type of content of your video conference or classroom. You can say whether or not you want your video for the host to be on or off. Participants, exactly the same again. And then in terms of your audio, whether you want that to be by telephone, computer audio, or telephone and computer audio. And you can then say what calendar you want that to go into. So it all depends on your own personal preferences, whether or not that be iCal, Google Calendar or other calendars. I'm going to have mine as Google Calendar for the moment because that is what I use. Now if we just take a look at the advanced option drop down, in here is where you can do some more advanced options, so you can enable a waiting room. So what that will do is it will place everyone into a waiting room until the host joins. You can enable for the meeting to start before the host actually joins. You can mute all participants on entry like we saw earlier, and you can automatically record your meeting on a local computer. And then all you need to do is go ahead and schedule that. And once that meeting is then scheduled, it will then appear within your meetings list on the right hand side here. You then have the option to share your screen. So you can create a meeting if you wish to share your screen with someone else. And in there you have more settings for sharing screens such as formatting text and things like that. Now at the moment we are on our home screen, but let's take a look at the other options. So at the top of the screen here, you also have chat. So in the chat, you can also chat with other Zoom users. You then have your meetings. So in here, you can have a look at any kind of meetings that you have set up, upcoming. You have your meeting ID in here as well. You have anything that you've recorded. And from here, you can obviously play your video or just simply play your audio only. Or if you no longer require this meeting recording, you can simply click onto delete. And then you have your contacts. So contacts will be anyone that you've actually added into Zoom. Now let's just take a look at the profile picture on the right hand side here. In here you can change your different type of status, so you may be available, you may be away, or you could be do not disturb so that other people cannot disturb you. And let's just take a quick look at the settings in here. So first of all, we have general. So within general, you have things like your themes, you have whether or not you use dual monitors, and whether or not you want to enter full screen when starting or joining a meeting. You then have your video, so you can obviously change the different type of camera from here if you are using external camera. You have your audio, so in here you can test your speakers, you can test your microphone, and test the different types of input levels. You can take a look at your sharing screens, what you can and cannot do. You have your chat, so you have several different options in here. You have virtual backgrounds that you can set up. You have your recordings, so where you actually want to store any recordings that you make. You have your profile, which obviously we've been through in terms of changing your profile pictures. You have any kind of statistics in here. Some keyboard shortcuts that you can use during your meetings. And if you want to include any kind of subtitles or captioning, you can do that from here too. So that was a beginner's guide of how to use Zoom. And I hope you enjoyed this video today. And if you did, then please give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and please do head over to my website at www.everybithelps.co.uk for more tips, reviews, and tutorials. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.